Hello and welcome to the space between ideas. Welcome, welcome. I just got a couple of minutes today. I thought we would just do a quick video. I think probably I'll have a little more time in the afternoon to kind of do more work with the coding. But the whole purpose of the coding is to provide like a novel idea to the world, novel business idea to the world about the behavior and habit that they should be getting into when they are working with AI, when they're working with their teams. And so, the most important thing here for me is to also go through this same thinking process. So, hmm, all right, let's just jump into our where were we yesterday, and then let's move on from there. So let's just I'm going to introduce first. I'll introduce the website. Um, if you're aware of my website, then the first 2 seconds are maybe it's the things you already know. Also, I'm just checking my audio. And sure, okay, good. Everything's being shared. So this is the website. Now you have two opportunities. Opportunity number one is you're trying to think about what should we be doing in terms of objectives. And then the next thing that we're going to talk about is like, how do we actually do that thing? How do we get it down to an actual task list? And the more that I think, my question is my thinking causing like a certain result because of the way I'm thinking about it? Maybe. Or is it the actual like truth to what we're trying to accomplish? What do I mean? So when we click into the brainstorm of my application, you can see it's asking the question, how are competitors, industry leaders, or even other successful entities doing it? So I said we should be looking for at how other business methodologies and strategic frameworks have been successfully productized and sold. Your true competitors aren't just software companies, they are authors, consultants, and educators who have packaged a way of thinking. Yes, I agree. Then we go to the next one, which is ideate. So you've now that you've examined what others are doing, it's time to generate fresh ideas. What completely new approaches, creative solutions, or innovative concepts could we explore? So then we start talking about the product and offering. We talked about the go-to-market strategy. We talked about the business and revenue model. Now, remember, this is just brainstorming. We're still in the process of brainstorming. And then yesterday, we talked about ignore. So, for example, ignore being a perfect software engineer. Number one, you should focus on getting your first 10 passionate users. Wait, that's not ignore. Number three, focus all your energy on making free brainstorming module incredibly helpful. Now, in that case, it's ignore. So the thing is that, like, I got a message from like the author, like my co-founder, and he's just like, "Hey, what's going on? Situation with the teams? Is there like the ability for teams to be able to work together?" And like, I still haven't replied to his email. And actually, as you can see in my video from yesterday and the day before, I started to like revisit the paid pro version of my app, and like I started to get a little bit sidetracked into that idea. And Google Gemini is saying, no, 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 what you really need to be doing is like focus on this free app. Look, I mean, you're like, look, I'm actually using my application right now. I'm actually doing it. I'm in the process of doing it. I'm using AI, and I'm having a conversation with AI. Now the thing is, okay, so could we maybe put a little AI chatbot on the side of the window so that like I'm having a chat with the AI chatbot, and then the result is I can cut whatever we have the conversation and put it back into the box, because that's what I'm doing in reality. Or should we just expect that everybody has access to their own chatbot, and then the chatbot can like you can share your screen with the chatbot? In fact, let's go to Google AI Studio. This is Google AI Studio, right? And I can share the Chrome tab for this page. Bing bong. All right, you can see this, right? You see what I mean? So, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can see the screen. It's labeled as Brainstorm Step 3 Ignore, and the question is about what to consciously ignore or set aside. The responses listed include ignoring being a perfect software engineer, focusing on getting the first 10 passionate users, and focusing on the free brainstorming module.
Okay. Now the thing is that I mean, like I'm using Google Gemini, and maybe I could share with you the screen with Google Gemini, and then you can kind of understand what's going on. But then at the same time, I don't know what I should share with you first. Thing is that when I use Google Gemini, it actually has a better memory. I noticed here with Google AI Studio, you sometimes forget the things that I'm saying or you lose track of the conversation. So I don't know how to do this. What do you think?
I understand your observation. Different AI models can have varying capabilities in maintaining context over longer conversations. It seems Gemini is performing better for you in that regard. We can continue the conversation here, and I'll do my best to keep track of what we've discussed. How can I help you with the current screen?
Actually, it's not the current screen that I want help with, it's the next one. The question is, how can you combine and connect all previous ideas, think integration, connecting customers, providers, stakeholders more effectively? How can you shorten the distances, speed up connections, and better serve all parties? Well, but then now I realize that probably you won't be able to understand the context for this unless we go back and go to the first couple of screens.
I understand. While I can't visually go back to the previous steps on the screen, you can describe the ideas generated in the earlier steps. This will help me understand the context and provide better assistance for the integrate step, which is about combining ideas and connecting stakeholders. Please tell me about the key ideas from the previous steps.
All right, so we started talking about this idea, like how are competitors, industry leaders, or even other successful entities in different fields doing it? What trends are emerging that could be relevant? And then you can see in the response it says you should be looking at how other business methodologies and strategic frameworks have been successfully productized and sold. Your true competitors aren't just software companies; they are authors, consultants, and educators who have packaged a way of thinking. And then on the next page, you can see it's okay. So now that you've examined what others are doing, it's time to generate fresh ideas. What completely new approaches, creative solutions, or innovative concepts could you explore? Then you can see it talks about the product and offering. Then it goes to go to market and marketing, and then it talks about business models and revenue models. And then it goes into the ignore, meaning what are things that what there are things that didn't work in the past or constraints we must acknowledge. What should we consciously ignore or set aside for now? Ignore being a perfect software engineer. Ignore other things which are not focusing on getting your first 10 passionate users, and focus all your energy on making that free brainstorming module incredibly helpful. So it's actually, let's talking about this website here that I'm actually showing you.
Okay, the website is currently showing step 3 of a brainstorming process titled Ignore. It asks what things didn't work in the past or constraints should be set aside. The suggested responses include ignoring the need to be a perfect software engineer, focusing on getting your first 10 passionate users, and concentrating on making the free brainstorming module incredibly helpful.
Did you see the other pages that I showed? Because actually I showed like the other two pages also.
Yes, both previous pages, step 1 and step 2, also indicated that the brainstorming process has a total of 5 steps.
Okay. So I think it's better to focus on using Gemini because I didn't have a really great user experience just now. So It was just not that interesting. The Google AI Studio, I've always had problems with Google AI Studio. It's not that fun to work with. So how do we do this? So we go into Gemini and we click Hello Gemini. So I just wanted to just do a really quick update. So today is Thursday, which means it's day 4, and day 4 means that we are going to step number 4. And in the brainstorming section, step number 4 is called integrate. It says, how can you combine and connect all the previous ideas? Think integration, connecting customers, providers, and stakeholders more effectively. How can you shorten distances, speed up connections, and better serve all parties? Integration means combining ideas and finding new ways to connect with and serve all stakeholders. So, what do you think? So this forces you to like go back and like what were we talking about? What ideas did we get from, the benchmarking, and then what ideas did we have? And then also what are the things that we decided to ignore? And now it's kind of pulling it all together with like how do those ideas actually connect with reality?
Today's goal is to integrate the ideas from the past 3 days into a single, cohesive strategy. Based on our discussions, the most powerful integration combines your product development, marketing, and customer feedback into one unified loop. The integrated plan, community first launch. This plan weaves together the core ideas we've discussed. From Monday, it imitates how successful methodologies like the business model canvas were built with community input. From Tuesday, it combines the standalone SaaS app idea with the community-driven launch marketing strategy. From Wednesday, it honors the principle of ignoring perfection and focusing on an MVP. Here's what this integrated approach looks like. 1. The product is the community's tool. You launch the current, workable version of your app to a small, private group of your first 10 to 20 users. This group could be in a private Slack channel, a Discord server, or even a simple email group. 2. The founder is the first consultant. You don't just give them the tool. You actively use it with them. You act as the facilitator, guiding them through the brainstorm and choose modules for their own real-world business objectives. 3. Feedback becomes the core feature. The distance between you and your customers becomes zero. Their feedback isn't a separate step, it's an integrated part of using the product together. The insights you gain will directly shape the next version of the app. This process turns your first users into co-creators. This approach integrates the stakeholders, you as the provider, and managers as the customers, directly into the creation process. It combines product development with marketing, because the story of how you're building this with your community becomes your first marketing asset. This integrated plan is essentially a more detailed and strategic version of Scenario A, the Find 10 Users Now sprint. It gives us a clear how to add to the what. We can refine Scenario A with these details before we move on to the Choose module tomorrow.
Great. Good. Just wanted to do a quick update, and I gotta go. I got a meeting.